There's no better time to get out and about than in the morning in Crete, but on this particular day we'd had some normal, everyday running around to do in the city, so arrived mid-morning to do a little drive-through of the villages. We then settled on Old Hersonissos to take a wander around, but the temperature just kept climbing, eventually reaching 38 degrees. So we had some lunch and returned home to our darkened, air-conditioned little house, only to return the following day in the late afternoon, with temperatures still soaring. At that time of the day, the light is perfect, and with no midday sun overhead, we were able to film the quiet back streets, the bustling square, and the people that make this place so special. There are 3 villages in a row. Old Hersonissos is the first if you're coming from the direction of Heraklion, then Piskopiano, and lastly Kutulafari. They are all within walking distance of each other. However, despite their close proximity, each village has its own unique charm and distinct personality.
So good evening, we have just made it to Hersonissos. It's about 6 o'clock. We're standing above the village, so we thought it'd be nice to start up here and give you a view of the sea and the top of the village. It's about 20 minutes from Heraklion. It's 34 degrees, so really warm. And we're going to take a nice walk around the village, and we thought we could take you with us.
On the right hand side you'll notice a small boutique style hotel, a quiet hint of how much the village has changed over the years. I remember when more than 35 years ago the village was smaller and quieter. In the past 20 years or so, new houses, villas and hotels have appeared, not just here but all over Greece. Back in the early 90s, mortgages and borrowing money in general was difficult, so local people saved their money and spent years building a property, purchasing materials when they could afford it, and rarely getting into debt. It always made me curious at the time because there was just half-built buildings everywhere. One of the first words I learnt in Greek was ipomoni, which means patience, because everything here took time. But then Greece joined the European Union and I remember everything changed. Everyday life seemed to become more expensive, but loans and mortgages became easily available to just about anyone, and the building boom across the village and the island took place. Many borrowed more than they could afford, encouraged by the banks, which eventually contributed to the wider economic crisis of 2009, and sadly austerity is still in place here 15 years later. Despite everything, the Cretan people remain remarkably resilient, many earning just enough to get by. Luckily, the village hasn't grown too much and its timeless charm has been lovingly preserved. The sound that you can hear there in the trees is the cicadas, found all over Greece, and in Crete we call it the sound of the summer. It's one of those sounds that you zone out from after a while and only realise it was there when it suddenly stops. In Castelli, about 15 minutes or so from here, a brand new international airport is slowly taking shape. Its opening now planned for 2028. When it does, Hersonissos will suddenly become the closest resort to arriving visitors. I think now to how quiet these villages are, and I can't help but wonder how the new airport will change them and whether the local roads and services can really keep up. My hope is that all this progress won't steal away the charm that makes this place so special. At the heart of Old Hersonissos lies its charming square, a lively meeting place framed by traditional tavernas, cafes and beautiful old stone buildings. There are also a couple of popular bars frequented by both locals and the resident international community, which adds to the lively atmosphere. As evening falls, the square truly comes alive. Tables spill out under the trees and fairy lights, and music drifts through the air, where both the local community and visitors gather to enjoy authentic Cretan food and warm hospitality. It truly is the perfect place where you can just linger for hours and soak up the village's timeless atmosphere.
Γεια σας. Καλά εσείς?
I love these old stone buildings. They give the square such a timeless charm. Every taverna has its own character, and with so much competition in one place, the standards are impressively high. Over the years, I have pretty much eaten at all of them, and I can honestly say you'll be very well looked after wherever you choose to sit.
Smile, please.
Hi. Τι κάνεις εσύ?
Τι κάνεις, το τουρίστα?
The back of these buildings are just as beautiful as the fronts. Look at the tiny old wooden balcony and the stonework framing the arched windows and doorways. The entrances themselves are so low, it really shows how much smaller people must have been hundreds of years ago. Some properties here date back to the Venetian era, that is the period between the 13th and 17th century. charm of the village is captured in its old houses, many of which date back generations. As someone completely obsessed with property and house design, I often wonder what the homes are like behind the front doors and the courtyards. I'd love the village to have an open day so that we could just wander in and out of everyone's houses. Wouldn't that be fun? Some of the houses are built with local stone, with really thick walls to keep them cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Some are whitewashed and some have painted earthy tone facades, which blends harmoniously with the narrow winding lanes of the village. Many have been lovingly restored, turned into homes, tavernas or guest houses, whilst others still retain that rustic lived-in feel, reminding us of the Cretan life of centuries past. This beautiful old building has been turned into an artisan studio where you can find gorgeous handmade ceramics. It's so nice to see these traditions still alive today. In fact, if you visit the museums in Crete, you can see pottery that goes all the way back to the Minoan period, over 3,000 years before Christ. The further you wander from the square, the quieter the village feels, but on the 15th of August it's a completely different story. That night everyone comes together to celebrate Panagia, the Assumption of the Virgin Mary. The central square turns into one big party with live music, traditional food, wine and raki, and the rhythms of Cretan dance that weave generations of families and visitors together. It's the one night that the whole village beats as one. Now, many years back, we looked at buying an old ruin here, but with 3 noisy children and a dog, decided living on the edge of a village instead of in the heart of one would be a better choice for us. The roads are narrow and houses sit very closely together, so it's worth bearing in mind the everyday hustle and bustle and sounds of its inhabitants if you are considering a move or a short stay. But if you love village life, then this one is perfect. It's a beautiful little village. Some of the houses still need renovating, but it's a fantastic place for a quiet holiday. It's not too far away from the town, down by the sea, where you can find like bars and restaurants and cafeterias. I mean, really, if you want a quiet holiday, you've got everything you need up here. So I've just arrived back into Old Hersonissos and I'm coming to visit a friend of mine who has renovated a fantastic property here. It's a small stone house that she bought as a wreck, and very luckily she's allowing us to have a quick look around today, so that's good. So it's next door to this lovely little boutique hotel, and it's in the village, around the back of the square actually. and this is the front. This amazing little home belongs to my beautiful Swedish friend. Having lived in Crete for many years now, I have been lucky enough to make friends from all over the world, and I have always jumped at the chance of going for a coffee or lunch at their homes, as I have always been fascinated at the way different nationalities live. Now, they all have their own specific styles, but the Swedes in my eyes are absolute masters of making a small space seem bigger. Maybe it's because they've had IKEA in their lives a lot longer than the rest of us. Instead of gardens, the old village homes open onto quaint stone-paved courtyards like this one, where the sun drifts across the sky, casting shifting patterns of light and shade throughout the day. In this tiny one-bedroomed home, my friend has somehow created a surprisingly spacious and beautifully designed living area. I love how the walls are plastered, yet patches of the original stone peek through. This leads through to the indoor dining area with laundry and storage facilities. Then, under an amazing original stone archway, we find the modern kitchen and a beautiful bathroom. Every available wall has a window, and she has cleverly added glass to all the doors to bring in as much light as possible, and I love the sliding door at the entrance to the sleeping area, a must in small spaces. Now this is the area where the design gets even better. My friend has cleverly designed an extra bathroom, creating a corridor between the living and bedroom areas, an extra wardrobe and a hidden bed with more storage to accommodate friends and family when visiting. You see, amazing Swedish design. It just goes to show what you can do with a small space. I love it. So if you're still with us, thank you for watching all the way to the end. We will be visiting Cucciolafari in Piscopiano next, so if you would like to follow us on this journey, please subscribe. It's completely free and it does help small channels like ours. Also, you can hit the notification bell if you would like to be alerted of when we do actually upload the next videos. So have a great week and see you soon.